Hello everyone, and welcome back to our little Appear tribe, our Epigenetics experimental tribe, which so far has given us many new surprises and has started to help me get a grasp on this new mechanic that has been added into Niche. It's still not clear if this mechanic will be in all of the future versions, and the mutations menu as we know it will be changed forever, or if things might be tweaked around before the official release. So remember guys, next week will be the official release of this, or I should say later this week will be the official release of the internal update. So just be aware that a lot of things might change, but as it stands for now, we are celebrating the birth of baby Pakar, who has finally managed to get 2 slots for nimble fingers. So I think what will happen with any of Pakar's children once we complete his picking of the berries, external environmental pressure on his life, is that he will have children who will always have nimble fingers, which would be extremely useful for us. So we're gonna go ahead and get his mother Sissy off of the nest, and we're actually gonna scooch her right over here. We're going to have her go ahead and try to have another child with her mate Pecan, and she's gonna jump onto the nest and hopefully pass on some useful traits to her children. Like we mentioned last time, we really noticed this with Raris. There's a lot of things happening to our creatures that we haven't chosen. Raris here has the no horns ability, or the no horns gene that is starting to express itself in her genetic line just by random chance, and she also has that with the spit snout, and she has that with the albinism and the melanism. Very, very interesting, because we didn't do anything at all. Time just passed, she still survived, and she gained a little piece of a gene that she may pass on to her children, and we might not do anything with them to try to encourage melanism, for example, but they might pass on 2/3 of that gene to their children, and then it just would show the progression of how some genes can randomly mutate in even if you're not doing anything with them. So that would be kind of interesting to see that play out. And then also, I guess you could try to unlock stripes, but Raris, do you want to stand in here and then you can stay there, and by hiding, hopefully we can unlock stripes. That might be really hard. You might have to stay hidden in grass for like generations to unlock stripes. Also, she could unlock claws if she fishes or if she attacks. I wonder if any creatures can fish now, and just some creatures would have a higher likelihood of being able to fish. We'll have to experiment with that with our new fisher, a little kook here who has been born. And there's actually a lot of other new things that are inside of this update that I want to show you guys. There's carnivore babies, and there's also, I heard, even fire and some other things. So we're going to move on to this island in just a little bit here. I'm going to wait till our little baby Pakar is a bit older first, and then we're going to scooch our way out, and we're going to see what we might be able to find on another one of the islands. All right, and Nuvanku, I'm going to move him over here. Oh no, I can't destroy this. What do you mean my attack strength isn't high enough? I guess your attack strength needs to be ridiculously high to get rid of those bushes. I have to wait for Kokiri's father to come over to be able to pluck up some of the berry bushes. Let's see. But Meme, I'm going to scooch her over here. She can grab that. She can try to eat a nut. But yeah, we're still trying to figure out how we can make this update work. But at least I'm starting to get a little bit of the hang of things. So I'm slowly but surely figuring it out. And Kawana has claw, so at the very least, she'll be able to do a little bit of fishing. So let's move her over here. And then what the heck is this? Is that a Squidadoo? Oh my gosh, it's like a Squidadoo thing. It's another new fish. I want it. Koana, get it. Koana, can you get it? Did you get it, Koana? I really want to catch it. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, that's so exciting. All right, well, we'll try to catch it in just a moment here. Oh my gosh, I'm very, very, very thrilled about that. And let's see, I guess little Kokiri just needs to wait. And I mean, Pakar can at least gather up some berries, so that's that. And then the other thing I'm really noticing with this update is that it does make the current genes that your tribe has right now, right here and now, even more important and really, really precious, because if you lose those genes, it's going to be really hard to get them back. You can't just smack them into the mutation menu like it used to be able, you could just like grab horns after 3 or 4 generations of having no horns at all, smack them in the mutation menu and you might get horns again. And that didn't really make a lot of sense if the creatures weren't carrying the gene at all. So it makes a bit of sense how they're doing it this way. Definitely is making this more challenging on me though. All right, let's scooch over here. We might jump around. Cookie or Duke might do something. Let's go ahead and see what baby we're going to have. The temperature has just gone up, so that's probably going to increase a whole bunch of our creatures. Working on progress for the lean body now that it's gotten a little bit hot, which again, that's something the environment's doing, not us, which is really interesting. But let's see, now we have little Seri. Hi, a little Seri. And she only has one nimble finger trait, like one of them. Oh my gosh, whereas her brother has two. So I think that this time she inherited from her mother's side. And how has she progressed? Not at all on the snout. So she didn't inherit her mother's gene that her mom had for like passing on little snout sniffers, the short snout. That's so interesting. Because there it is, and she didn't get her mom's side. So there's even the pieces of progression for new genes are something you possibly could inherit from your parents now. So if you wanted, say, water body, then you would want to have two creatures who both had splashed around in the water, not just one, to really increase your chances of having a creature with water body. Okay, I'm starting to put things together. Still a little bit messy, but we're getting there. All right, come on, little Pakar. You've got so much to do. Don't pick this berry. That's your first lesson. A lesson in distinguishing between poison berries and non-poisonous berries. These are really cool berries, by the way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we'll gather up this food over here. Come down here, do a little bit of exploring with Kuduk, because why not? Pecan can go ahead and collect those. We're gonna just leave Rurus there, I guess, because she's making very slow progress. So you'd have to be hidden for 10 turns in order to unlock the hiding gene, actually. So that's a little too slow for my taste. What the heck-a-doodle? Rurus! Who is this handsome fellow? Why, hello, or a handsome lady. Rah-rah, huh? And so whatever genes she currently has determine what genes you can make a little bit of progression on. And then what'll be interesting is if you can start getting the random creatures coming into your tribe who may already have made progress on some of these fragments of environmentally influenced genes. And then she has hemophilia, I and B immunity, low fertility. She does have crackerjaw, recessive though, which might be fun to try to see survive in our tribe. So I wonder, should we invite her in? Maybe. Let's move up. We'll go ahead and invite her in, which makes it easier for us to work on things. And then Rah-Rah. Interesting. So she does have that crackerjaw. I want the crackerjaw so much. Let's see. And Duvanku, would you two make good mates? No, because you share B immunity. Oh, darn. And it seems like the Wanderers, G and H, I and B. Okay, so Pecan could at least be her mate. So maybe we'll scooch over here and she'll be super excited. No, and it didn't work. She took a gamble and it didn't work. And that's okay, because Sissy is very old by now. So Sissy will have one more child and we'll see who Pecan's child will be. Let's actually name little Seri, let's rename her Mulberry. Well, we're gonna rename her Mulberry. And then over here we have little Fisher, so I'm gonna name him, let's go with, what's a cool fish that I know? Like beta fish. I really think they're really cool, but it's a cooler fish. Think harder, Seri, think harder. Octopus, squid, those aren't fish. Come on, Seri, you can do this. All I can think is the clownfish. This poor child. All right, we're gonna name him Nautilus, maybe. And incorrectly spelled even, just for good measure. And he can move down here and help his sister and try to catch the razor Rana. So that's what it's called. And she's not having any luck catching it, but she can try. And by attempting to catch it, I think what she actually can do, you can see progress towards the fishing tail. So this is really, really fun on one level as I drift further away from having to focus on the way we usually play the game, because there is so much of an effect on them now and their children and their children's children based off of what they spent their life doing. So if we just sit here and do nothing but like gather these berries, then we may never end up with creatures who become good diggers because we didn't work on developing digging paw unless we randomly bump into a creature carrying that gene. I think that's pretty cool. It's just so tricky. It's so hard. Oh my gosh, to actually get some of the genes that you want now. But that's just because, oh no, a leech. But that's just because it is totally a different way of playing than I'm used to. So we'll adapt. We'll adapt as time goes on. Don't worry. All right, so let's see. Nuvanku, I'll scoot you down here. And you can, oh, there's a bunny. We'll go ahead and get that bunny. We might see if Rara can entice Pecan into having more children. And let's go ahead and see what Sissy's child is going to be. And then now that we have fully discovered this island and explored it, we're going to start moving our creatures over to this port. Because I've heard that leaving for the flower port from the first island can actually crash your game. I'm not sure if that's for everybody or if they've already patched that. But we're going to go ahead and just explore over here and see what the heck's over here. And this might make the stories of our tribes a lot more diverse too. This is gonna be interesting. All right, oh Sissy, I'm gonna miss you. And she, oh yes, Duke, yes, I'm so excited. Except Sissy, what were your genes? How did we end up with a child that it has poison fangs? All right, Sissy, you just passed away. So she carried Poison Fang recessive, and she mated with Pecan, who also carried it recessive. Yes, and that means that this little guy, who I'm going to name, let's see, we have Bakar and Mulberry. I'm going to name him Oakley. So there's little Oakley. But he is actually immune to poison, so he has poison resistance, so he can eat those poison berries for us. Boom! Very excited about that. All right, so good job, Oakley. Very proud about that. I mean, it's not like he really did anything to earn it, but still. And we're going to move little Mulberry over here. And then we're teaching Pakara the difference between good berries and bad berries. No, and the bunny's getting away. Quick, everybody, get the bunny. Oh, there it is. Come on. Got it. All right, we got the bunny. There we go. We'll go ahead and gather up. Korosi can gather some things from over here. And we'll gather from over here. And then Kirku is sort of stuck in the dark again. So Raris can scooch down and help out. There we go. So our little blind daughters can still help out with the berry harvest. They try very hard to help out after all. And then I guess Ronro is just kind of overseeing the berry collecting operations from both of them. And then little Pakar, so his job now is to collect enough of the berries to hopefully be able to pass Nimblefingers on for sure to his children's children. So to his children, that's the goal there. We want to get rid, we want to get rid of that leech, and we want to give her a little lick so she's better. This has regrown. There's some clams, and here's the Razorana again. So can I get it? And what about her brother? Her brother can get the Razorana. He cannot dig up food from the seafloor. Oh, he, like, for sure, but he could try? And does that work towards something? Or is that just going to be interacting? That doesn't work towards the underwater feeding ability. So he doesn't have that. And she's continuing to work on that fishing ability by playing in the water and trying to catch fish. So she's adding a little bit more of a chance to get fishing tail for like a fragment of fishing tail pressured from the environment that will possibly affect her children. So my goodness, isn't it complex? All right, we're going to go ahead and start destroying. Oh, wait, I can't destroy. You can attack the berry bushes even if you don't have enough attack, and that will count as attack towards claw. Oh, that is so interesting. And then she can't, Rara here has a crippled paw and one digger's paw, so she can't actually gather berries for sure, but she can try, and she can affect her ability to pass on anything that might be related to collecting. She doesn't have nimble fingers anywhere in her traits that she can learn to possibly pass on because she doesn't have the base gene for it. Are you guys confused yet? Are you keeping up? Because it is a little confusing, but man, that's interesting. All right, so she is going to have a baby, and we're just going to see what that baby looks like. We have got to get Mulberry and Oakley working on their plucking of berries. So I don't want to gather up too many berries since it hasn't rained yet. But my goodness, things are getting interesting. And we just managed to get that Razorana, which makes me pretty happy. All right, and Meme has collected up the little bunny there. All right, so I think I'm figuring at least part of this out. Oh, and there's a cute little baby right over here. this is little Isri, and what does she have? Let's see. Digging paw and claw. Yes, all right. She was born a healthy child, so she and her siblings will probably leave the island once they come of age, and they will be able to take lots and lots of food with them. And we can actually move little Oakley over, and he's going to wiggle his way over to these poison bushes. There we go. And Mulberry. Mulberry is super interesting because she was not born with 2 nimble finger traits. So she has to make progress because she inherited her mother's environmental pressure, and Pakar inherited their father's. So he's almost to the point of having 3 slots. And then Oakley did inherit 1 nimble finger slot. So he managed to get their mother's slot. And then over here, Isri has nothing. She's got nothing related to nimble fingers. I think possibly because she doesn't have runner's leg or velvet paw. So that's one of the things that you have to have. We have runner's leg over here. We have runner's leg over here, and we have runner's leg over here. You have to have one of those 2 things in order to have any of the progressional fragments. It is going to be so hard to breed up the creatures that we want from now on. Oh my goodness gracious. It's gonna be like pulling teeth, but we're gonna do our best. All right, well, let's keep going. Everybody's just gonna do what they can do, which for some creatures is not terribly much. All right, there we go. More over there. We can scoot you guys over here. Meme can come back over here, work on this. Kuduk, oh man, Kuduk is so beautiful. Can you pass on any children, Kuduk? But he's got short-sighted eyes, why? All right, oh, I missed being able to get the mole. All right, and so now this guy can get that guy no problem. So Nautilus is a great fisher. And is there any fishing body traits that he might be working on while he's fishing? He's not even working on attack when he fishes. That's important to note. So yeah, there's nothing that he can really, like he's working on webbed hind legs just from being in this area. And he's working on trying to feed off of the ground, but that's about it. And then Kalana can work on her cracker jaw actually by trying to crack open these clamshells, which I think is very interesting. And if I move this guy over here, we can actually harvest that seaweed, not for food, but for nesting material now, which also is really interesting to me. All right, and let's go ahead. We'll have Siko gather up these berries. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a busy life going on over here. And next up, do we have another healthy child? Sure enough, we have another healthy baby boy. And he could possibly pass on fishing, like fragment of fishing tail. Oh, what a little headache. So really, honestly, you have to look at what genes you could possibly mutate in with a super long haul now. You can't really look at them like for sure that's going to be in our family tree anymore when you could just toss it in the mutation menu, have a few babies, and it would show up right away. And it's coming to the point where you really want to focus on what genes you currently have available, because woo boy, those are important now. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, Pakar is going to continue to collect things and work his way towards nimble fingers. We can move Mulberry. Oh, Mulberry! Here, you move up here. Your brother, Oakley, needs to move over here. And does that count towards collecting things? It does. And because he's immune to poison, he was able to collect the poison berries. That is very, very useful. All right, and Messi, are you strong enough to be able to take out this tree for us? Maybe she is, but we don't need to destroy the poison bushes now that we have Oakley, who has become very important. So I'm actually going to give him and his brother Pakar a couple blue tokens so that we can keep an eye on them. And we'll continue experimenting with these guys, and we'll continue playing with them until the official release comes out. Wow, Kosira, you're so bad about doing that. And then once that happens, we will go ahead. Come on, attack it. All right, you can't attack a poison bush apparently, unless you have enough strength, just straight up. But yeah, once we have the official release, then we'll go ahead and we will start experimenting with having our creatures. Where'd that bunny go? All right, it's headed that way. With having an official tribe is what I was trying to say. We'll have an official tribe, and we will officially try playing with these new rules and the new mutation menu, whatever final form they end up taking on. But until then, dang it, couldn't crack that nut open. And let's see, let's move Nautilus. We'll have him scooch this way. will look for food up along the edges like this together, the sibling set, and they can actually work on moving over here, and we'll move to the next island. Until then, we will just continue exploring, and we will continue experimenting, and we will continue trying to figure out, here, Pecan, move over. We'll continue trying to figure out what to do with our wee ones. And Isri is not even able to start trying to learn how to get those berries. So interesting. She can't get, unless she breeds with somebody and has a child who has nimble fingers, there's no way for her to start unlocking nimble fingers because she doesn't have the base gene. So complicated and so cool. All right. And then Rara, I'm so proud of you. At least you're trying. You're contributing your genes as you can. So, all right. So I think next time we'll start moving the babies towards this spot and we'll send them to the next island and we'll see what other surprises there are in store other than just the beautiful new grass and the very interesting and complex new mutation menu. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.